Here we are.
We're live? Oh, okay. All right. Welcome to the
Live,
show.
okay.
Okay.
No.
I know we did get a warning a few minutes ago, so
Yeah.
we just got to run with it. All right. My dad all the way down the end, Norm LaMadeline, Marty Mad Dog Murphy in the middle. I'm Matt LaMadeline. Welcome to the show. Please, 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 somebody call us. 203-753-7593. I don't even know why I waste my breath anymore, John.
Well, give me somebody to call.
Yeah. Marty, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marty's
Marty,
back in the
guys.
workforce.
Yeah.
And we get it now, we get it. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next week we're off for Labor Day, and I cannot believe at the end of this, the unofficial end of summer is next week. And what are you gonna know? Baseball season continues on, and football starting, and so we should have plenty of stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
the next
There'll be
few
plenty of
weeks, that's
sports,
for
yeah.
sure. Next
Plenty of
couple
sports,
months.
especially
Yep.
football.
Yeah,
It's coming
especially
up,
football
especially
coming up too. We got the UConn. UConn started their season this week, and but the Yankees, we might as well start there because I mean, unless you live under a rock and this is the first time you're watching, this is this is what we talk about, the Yankees. And every week it seems like they're good or bad or whatever. And Marty and I were texting in the middle of the week. I watched a lot of games with my dad. We thought that they were finally back, winning 5 in a row. And then, of course, they lose their last two games against Oakland. So
Well, 2 nice wins against the Mets, and that gives you hope.
Yeah, I mean,
Paul O'Neill Day to start it.
Yeah, the Paul O'Neill Day, yeah.
Yeah, you had that nice big win on Paul O'Neill Day.
Yeah,
Yeah, you figured maybe that's jumpstart because they honored Paul O'Neill. Then they turn around and knock off the Mets 2 games.
Yeah.
They get out to Oakland. They take the first 2. You're sitting there. Oakland's a bad team. We should have no problem with them now. And they just the offense tanked.
Well, that's what
either Oakland's got a pretty darn good pitching staff.
Right.
Yeah, they all pitch like Cy Young.
Yeah,
Yeah, they seem to
exactly.
always pitch well against the Yankees for some reason. After the All-Star break, that is.
After the All-Star break, yeah.
Yeah, so
Different
somebody's
team
been
after the
watching a
All-Star.
lot of tape and just said, you know what, this isn't happening anymore. We're not pitching to
Jeez.
Judge. We know Giancarlo will be out when for more than he's in.
He's back now.
Yeah,
He only
for
played
what's
28 games this year. Can you imagine that? Here's this multi-million-dollar player, 28 games.
That's
unbelievable.
worth. Well,
Oh,
either way,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. He hasn't been in the lineup.
He played
Yeah,
28 games.
I thought he was there most of the first half.
Oh, they said yesterday was his 28th game that he played.
Wow. Well, here's the thing too: is guys like Hicks need to be out of the lineup.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like Higashioka. He's batting 196. He needs out of the lineup. Of course,
Well, he's normally not in the lineup.
Right.
Trevino's been the main catcher.
You know what?
Trevino's good too,
You
yeah.
know, all these guys that are batting 200 or under, they need to go.
But when you got him, they said like Iggy, he's a great defensive catcher. He has no bat. He came to New York. He got a bat.
Well,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a bat this year, that's for sure.
I'm talking about Trevino.
Oh, Trevino.
Yeah, Trevino's got some key hits.
Yeah. And he was an all-star. He's having a great year. He is.
He's hitting in the 260s, I think.
Yeah, which is big time by in Major League Baseball today. You don't have to be batting 300
Well,
anymore.
wait till next year. You'll see everybody's averages going back up because as of next year, there's no more shift.
We'll see about
To a
that.
point.
Yeah,
To a point. Yeah.
There's not going to be 4 guys on one side anymore.
The shortstop is going to have to keep 1 foot on the left side second base. So if they're going to do anything to try and do it is they bring the right fielder in and move the center fielder over.
Gotcha.
But then you figure if you move the left fielder in the center, figure you'll leave left side wide open.
Right.
That'll really cause problems.
My biggest question is where's Harrison Bader, and is he going to join the Yankees anytime soon? This is the guy that they gave up Montgomery for.
Yeah.
And Montgomery's been pitching lights out, of course.
Yeah, he had one bad start. I think he gave up 2 runs in one.
Well, my uncle was telling me he had a 90-pitch complete game.
Yeah, 1 hitter.
1 hitter. This is just, it just blows my mind. Why would you ever mess with that rotation for starters? But a young lefty.
Yeah.
And the thing that gets you,
I don't understand.
The thing that gets you is Sevy's out.
And I've given up on Sevy too.
Sevy's out.
He's always out. He and Giancarlo couldn't hit the
Carlo-
brakes.
You knew Cortez was
Cortez is going out. Chapman's out.
Was way over most innings he pitched in the season.
Oh,
I'm thinking, I don't think he has an injury. I think they turned around and said, you know what?
Save him for the season, playoffs.
We need to cut back on some of his innings. So they're holding him out for 3 starts. So they put him on the IL for 3 starts.
Yeah. It's too bad because he's been, been so good.
But how could you? This is the point. How could Brian Cashman be such an idiot that you gotta slow down Cortez's innings? Sevy still ain't back.
Right.
So now there's 250 of your starting rotation down, and you're gonna turn around and trade one of your young, good left-handers just for a bat that still hasn't played for you since you made the trade a month ago.
Right, and from what I understand, it's not even his bat; it's his fielding that makes him so great.
Yeah.
I don't know this kid. Andy's, Andy's been on the DL or IL or whatever.
He hasn't played a game since the end of May.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little kid Oswaldo Cabrera too that came in. He's looking pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So see what's going to happen with him. He's very interesting. He's playing center field the other day. Made some nice plays. And
I'll tell you right now.
Go ahead, Dad. Let him
no, go ahead. It's just he just. I think his third at bat. He got his first hit, and everybody's going crazy.
Oh, yeah,
And since then, he's been hitting. He's like 6 out of 16 his first 16 at bats, and couple key hits.
They need him.
He had 2 games in a row. He had 3 hit games.
Well, I'll tell you what. If they can use some young talent and somebody who's going to be there and healthy, let's face it. And you know what? I don't understand. I mean, Judge plays a good center field too. I don't understand why why we even needed a center fielder.
Yeah, no.
Or they should have brought up Oswaldo or whatever his name is. Where's Waldo?
That's what I told you. Where's
They should have
Waldo?
brought up Where's Waldo and put him in center field if they're so worried about Judge. Why do you trade a good pitcher?
Because Brian Cashman's an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying this for years.
Right.
Brian Cashman has been living his whole career as a general manager off of Gene Michaels and Bob Watson giving him the Fab Five and Bernie Williams,
Right.
Jorge Posada, Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, and Andy Pettitte.
It's funny you say that because my father said the same thing, the Fab Five. And they were always called the Core Four, which is wrong.
Well, the
But
reason why they became it became the Core Four after Bernie retired.
yeah, but that's unbelievable. Bernie was there the whole time.
How about
And
Paul
he was
O'Neill
there,
too?
right?
We talking about 6 now. I'm up to 6.
Well, right,
It was 5.
right.
I'm up to 6 now. with Paul O'Neill.
The reason why you say the Fab Five is because they all came up through the farm system.
Absolutely, but they're not the Fab Five. They're the Core Four, and that's wrong.
Yeah,
Bernie is absolutely one of the guys.
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
And he was there before those guys.
Yeah, but they didn't start calling them the Core Four till after Bernie was gone, and they were trying to make that run to get 27.
Right.
And that's when the big Core Four thing came up.
Well, Bernie was disrespected most of his career, anyways, by the Yankees, from what I know and what I see.
So was Andy Pettitte. So was Derek Jeter.
No, not nearly as bad. We're finding out about Jeter for sure. But Bernie, the way it ended for Bernie was just not. They should have at least did something for him on his way out or something, and then they just kind of let him just kind of hang, let him dangle.
Part of it was the Yankees wanted to do something for him. They finally did after he finally said, "I'm going to put in my papers. I'm going to retire." Right. They wanted to do something for him right away, but he just. I think I want to do my music for a little while, but I think I'm going to come back. He didn't want to put in his retirement papers, so they didn't want to give him a day.
Right.
And have him come back 6 months later and say, "I want to play."
Right.
Well, we got to be cheering pretty much for Toronto and Tampa right now.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell
true.
you,
Right?
the Red Sox did a good job with Tampa this weekend, which is kind of nice.
Well, we can't root for the Rays because the Yanks are playing them next.
Well, yeah, and I can't. Yeah.
Well, the next 3 games
But
we
Toronto,
can root for.
but when they not, You know, and that's what the American League East does. They bump each other off, and even Baltimore is bumping people off. So right now we're saying that, you know, let's cheer on those American League East teams. You know,
As long as they're not playing the Yankees.
as long as they're not playing the Yankees, absolutely.
Right now, what you need in the next 6 games, that the Yankees play Tampa Bay. You need them to win 4 out of 6, and then basically it matters a little bit, but not that much if they finish tied, because they changed things this year when it comes to making a tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they're changing everything, so I can't keep up with it.
When they look at tiebreakers, it goes.
It's not head-to-head anymore.
No, it's not head-to-head.
Okay.
But it's going to be best in your division too,
It's
right?
best in the division.
Best in your division.
Okay.
But if you hold winning records against every team in your division,
Right.
you're
all set.
You're all set.
Well, here's the thing. If the Yankees are not playing the Angels for 3 days, right, they have Thursday off, and then they're at the Rays. So at least for 4 days now, if the Yankees take care of their own business, we don't have to worry about it. If they continue to lose games, you know, and then the Rays find a way to sweep the Yankees, you know,
You're in trouble.
well, yeah, they're in big trouble. And that would still be what? That's only 6 games. So the Yankees would still have a 1.5 game lead on the Rays if the Yankees lose everything and Tampa wins everything. But can you imagine the Yankees only having a 1.5 game lead after the
after the
13, first
13
half of the season?
Yeah, 13 game lead. Yeah.
Then now you sit there, you look at it. Whose fault is it?
Oh yeah,
It's Boone's.
right.
Because Boone.
It's the Yankees period because they're not hitting either.
Yeah, but it's Boone.
Right.
The biggest problem is Boone.
It's Stanton.
It's
It's
Stanton.
Hicks.
But I mean, it still comes down to it's Cashman and Boone. Cashman made trades just to make trades.
Right.
We did not need Giancarlo Stanton. I know we got him for a song, but since he's got
That's a Jeter's revenge right there.
Yeah, that was Jeter's revenge.
Jeter's revenge on the Yankees.
He suckered Cashman into taking Stanton, and he till this day, Jeter's laughing in Cashman's face.
Absolutely. Now, Dad, but Marty's blaming all the management. We know because we were watching.
I got some
almost every
numbers
game.
over
I know
here.
you've been watching every
The
game.
Yankee pitchers have a 1.38 ERA for the last 10 games, right? Imagine that. The games they lost were 2-1, 3-4-3. On Saturday night, what a game that was. The Yankees pulled that game out. They had a 2-0 lead in the 11th inning, and then the pitcher gave up a home run.
Oh,
but that was the and they had one hit that whole game.
Wow.
And but especially the last 6 games, they 2 for 17 runners on base. So that's it. It's no hitting and a lot of good pitching.
Oh, you know what? And Marty, my dad and I would go back and forth because he's watching it upstairs, I'm watching it down, whatever, and we'll yell out, "Did you see that?" or whatever.
Yeah,
We'll talk about it the
yeah.
next day. And it is just gut-wrenching to watch the Yankees with runners in scoring position.
Oh, yeah.
Because Hicks is going to come up and ground into a double play.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to pop out. Somebody's going to strike out.
I mean,
And there goes the rally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like last year. Urshela.
Oh,
He played a great defensive third base. He was a good hitter. You bring an old timer in Josh Donaldson, and he can't punch his way out of paper bag. He had great numbers 10 years ago.
10 years
yeah, he's
ago.
back
Well,
2
10
and
years
a
ago.
quarter.
That's what they're going by.
No,
Yeah.
he's had a couple
he-
of big hits.
He's finally up to 2 1/4.
Yeah.
He was back. He was right at the Mendoza
Oh, yeah,
line
yeah.
for most of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it
had a
took
couple of big hits.
It
And,
took him a while to get up there.
Yep.
But that's what happened. These batting averages. You see it like Judge. I'm thinking Judge. You look at him, he's 305. Next thing you know, a couple of days later, he's 285.
Yeah.
What's going on with that batting average? Why is he constantly play? You can't can't stay at 300.
Well,
I don't get it, Dad. I don't understand
Here's where
anymore.
your issue is with Judge. He's trying to do everything offensively, and pitchers are working away around him where they keep the ball close to the strike zone to get him to swing, because they don't have to give him anything if they walk him. They're not afraid of anybody who's behind them.
Right.
Because Rizzo ain't hitting.
Yeah.
That's true too. Rizzo is
Stanton's
not,
not
been-
hitting.
Yeah.
These guys aren't hitting, so there's no one to fear behind behind Judge.
And he's a sucker for a sinker too. I mean, there's
boy.
so many sinkers, and he looks terrible. When goes after a sinker. Unbelievable. It's
Yeah, he can look bad up there. There's no
Yeah.
question about that.
And the biggest reason why he swings at those is because the 9 times out of 10 they call him strikes anyways, even though below
yeah.
his hit.
Yeah,
So
he's-
if he doesn't swing at them and look bad, they call strikes anyways, and then people sit there and say, "Why? How can you let it go by?"
well, I think he got on the umps about calling a low strike zone on him.
Yeah.
And that's why he wears the socks so high, because this is my strike zone guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is
Right.
unbelievable.
Right. Well, I guess it's enough about beating up on the Yankees. We got other things we can talk about. The Sox, at least, are and I know, Dad, you said that they've been playing better, fortunately for us. But 62 and 66, still 16 back, and now they are in last place in the East too.
Well, they had a problem too. They're 3-13-1 against American League teams.
Wow.
So that's their problem. But
Yeah.
2 of the wins, three of the wins were against Tampa. Which,
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. But
I love they beat
they're
up
having a
on
hard time,
Tampa and the Blue Jays, but I don't. I didn't even write down who they're playing next. So I don't know if they're who they're up against this week, but hopefully they're going to beat up on somebody for us.
They do all right. They get little winning streaks here and there, and they get some good pitching. and
They're
not-
another team that's decimated by injury.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're at the Twins at least the next 3 days, so that doesn't matter. We
the
don't
Twin-
care.
yeah,
We don't care
Twins.
what they do.
Oh, okay, the Twins, yeah.
I mean, but they've been decimated by injury. Chris
Yeah.
Sale finally comes back and he ends up breaking his thumb and
Yep.
cutting his. Then not too long after that, cut his hand and he's out.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, injuries are injuries. That's every team. You got to deal with them.
Right. So the Sox, hopefully we don't have to worry about with a month left in the season. Hopefully they're out of it.
I'm worried about Baltimore.
Right? Baltimore, and
Baltimore,
that's the
yeah.
thing. Baltimore,
Oh, yeah.
Tampa, and Toronto.
And the thing that gets you, Baltimore turns around and trades Mancini.
Yeah.
Now, you figure as soon as they traded Mancini, they were going to belly up and Boston was going to shoot right by him, and they were going to go back to being bottom dwellers.
Yeah.
They're playing better ball now that Mancini's gone.
Right.
Well, maybe there were problems. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe there were
Problems
clubhouse
we didn't know
problems.
about. Right.
A lot of those things happen. You had some good ball players that caused a lot of problems.
Yeah.
We saw that at the Bronx Zoo. We saw a lot of that.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
but
In the
I
70s,
mean,
right?
I mean, yeah, and when you're constantly playing for a bad team and you're playing really good and you're sitting there, please get me out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
And you become such a disruption in the clubhouse that everybody else is playing bad because you're crying you want out of there.
Yeah.
You get out of there, now everybody's playing better because you're not there.
Right. Right. We have to mention the Mets too, guys. Thank God the
Oh,
Yankees
yeah.
beat them. But
Yeah.
the Mets are 82 and 47 now. They've blown by the Yankees, record-wise.
What about your old timers then?
And they had
I
no,
didn't see
they
that.
had no tired.
Yeah.
That was really well. I didn't watch the whole thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I saw different things, and they did a nice job.
Yeah, they really?
Yeah.
They don't do it every year.
Nope.
They don't.
They finally brought it back. Cohen brought it back.
okay.
And everybody was taking shots because they did a baseball game this year.
They actually played a game?
The old timers played a baseball
Wow,
game.
okay.
The Yankees didn't. They just did a ceremony this year.
Wow.
So
Yes,
everybody's throwing the digs. The Mets are the class of New York.
Well,
At
the
least
Yankees
they
better watch
played the
out
game.
because they
They
are
are,
playing better
yeah.
too as well. They
Yeah.
only have a 2.5 game lead on the Braves now, so
Yeah.
they better watch what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
I mean, and the Mets are basically in the same boat the Yankees are in, where you got to worry about that second place team. And now, you took 3 out of 3. You took 3 out of 4 against the Rockies. Where are the Rockies right now? They're down in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Who do you have? You have the Dodgers.
right. The Dodgers. are
Now,
down. That's what I was gonna say.
God forbid.
No, we got
But
used to it, too.
Atlanta sweeps the Rockies.
Right.
Yeah.
Dodgers sweep the Mets.
Right.
Now the Mets are looking up.
Right. Exactly. I'll tell you what. We got about 6 minutes left. I know, Dad, you wanted to touch on UConn football. You actually watched the game. I know they lost, but it wasn't nearly as
Oh,
bad
we
as
have
we
a
thought it
very,
was going to be.
I have a very positive outlook. We got a coach named Jim Moore. He's got 30 years of experience.
Yeah.
We got him. He's his last 12 years he was at UCLA, and they had a good program there. They had four bowl games,
Okay.
in that time.
Yeah.
And
He was in
he also-
bigs too. I know he was in the NFL, right?
and he was in
Yeah.
the NFL, 30 years of experience. And it showed because we had some good players, some good plays.
Good.
UConn got off to a 14-0 start on Saturday, which was nice. I mean, we have a running back named Nathan Carter, 110 yards and 6 carries in the first quarter.
Wow.
And scored 2 touchdowns and a total of 190 yards and 20 carries for the game.
Okay.
The problem is that they call it a fumble, but he was stripped. He was running with the ball. He was carrying it like a, not like you're supposed to have the ball
Right,
here.
right.
Well, he had it here,
Yeah.
and he got punched out.
Well,
Well,
that's what they're learning now too. The defensive players are taught now to strip that ball.
Yeah.
well, that cost UConn a touchdown. That turnover, and then that put Utah State 14-7, and they got back into the game. And they lost their quarterback too. The first, what's this guy's name anyway? But the second quarterback, Zach.
Zach was the guy who played last year, I think.
They had him last year, but they had a guy from Penn State that they wanted to give him a shot, and he lasted probably 3 or 4 plays, and he's out for a season.
Wow.
ACL
Oh,
injury.
boy, that's
So
too
he
bad.
only got through the first play, and that was it.
Wow.
Zach
First
could-
series.
His first series, yeah.
Wow.
So he's out. But Zach did fairly well. 129 yards. See, I can read my numbers here.
Oh boy.
I have a hard time reading my
I was gonna say that.
But anyway,
Chicken scratch
2
his stomach.
interceptions,
Okay.
and that's really what cost UConn the game.
Yeah,
2 interceptions and a fumble,
Yeah.
and otherwise it was 31-20. Halftime was 24-20, and UConn was in the game the whole game.
Wow. That's too
So-
bad to get off to a 14-0 start and then
Yeah.
just blow it out.
Well, they got professional people and real good people now that
Yeah.
are teaching them how to play, and there's a lot of confidence. You can see that the defense played very, very well. And if it wasn't for those bad plays, if it wasn't for those, the defense probably could have held them to maybe 14 points.
Yeah. Well, they better whip up on Central this week. That's all I gotta say.
Well, we're going to see how good Utah State is too, because they're playing Alabama this week. So we'll see how good they are against
Right.
should we have beaten this team
Right.
or
A quality
it's just a hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Utah State better be wearing their big boy pants against Alabama.
Oh yeah, that's going to be.
yeah.
Yeah, if they get blown out, it's going to be very embarrassing. But they do
Well-
have a good team.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We know what a bad team is, and UConn is actually going to Michigan this year.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we know that this,
It's gonna be-
that could be a tough. Not only travel, but the game could be just awful. Let's face it.
The only thing you could hope for is that they're competitive.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, you're trying to get some big conference teams to give you a shot playing against them
Right.
as an independent. What you want to do, you don't have to win the game. You got to keep it close.
Yep.
If you keep it close, when they talk about expanding again, they might look at you.
Right. Well,
If you don't keep it close, then they're going to be, we don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, like my dad said it, you know what? If they can stay close, like you said in the games, and they can play halfway decent in something like Utah State,
Yeah.
they're not going to be the worst team in the league, hopefully.
No, I think they're impressive. I think there's some good write-ups. They got a good write-up Sunday,
Okay.
so that's a good thing.
And the NCAA is getting a little scared of the super conferences.
Yeah. Well, they should.
Power Five,
You
yeah.
used to have the Power Five.
Yeah.
It looks like now you're almost to the Power Three
Yeah, they're beating
Because
each other
the-
up. There's this.
because everybody's jumping. And,
Right.
I mean,
And that's what they're doing. They're just bringing them in. They're expanding.
And why do you want, why would Duke want to have like 18 teams in their conference?
Yeah.
Why would they want North Carolina? Why would they want to make their conference so big that nobody really?
because if you pull in the right big name teams,
Yeah, but 18 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Well, believe it or
Yeah.
believe
right.
it, believe it or
Seems like
not,
a lot to me too.
believe it or not, if you pull the right teams in, football makes money.
We know football makes a lot of money. That's for sure.
And you have like the SEC. They got Alabama, Auburn, and Georgia. So that's big football money. Now they're grabbing all the Texas schools.
Yeah, and those are good schools.
Those
too.
are good. And
Only the good schools are going to have to.
Oh, yeah.
You know that, right?
The one thing you're almost guaranteed of is the way they're doing this. You will not. You may never see an undefeated team again.
Well, that'd be nice. I'd like to see that, to be honest with you.
Because you're going to have all the great teams, all basically in 3 divisions, and they're going to have to play against each other.
they're gonna beat each other up.
And they're going to beat each other up. So
Absolutely.
That's good. That's the way it should be. There's
only-
too many bowl games and all that mess anyways in college.
you're never going to lose bowl games.
Well, this is true. I mean,
You
if
may
anything,
lose-
we're gaining games.
You may
every
lose
year.
some of.
Yeah.
You'll lose some of them. You'll gain some other ones because if a bowl doesn't make money, they don't just get rid of it. They just say, we're not doing it here anymore. We'll change the name and we'll move it over here.
Right. So true. So true. You know what? NFL Week 1 is almost upon us. Thursday, September 8th, and it's the Bills at the Rams. So, you know what? Football is creeping up on us. Now,
It's
did
great,
you have
yeah.
something else about UConn football, Dad? Or
No,
You
no,
said
that was
some-
good. I'm just very optimistic. I think that it's probably win maybe 5-6 games this year, which is not bad.
I'll tell
And I'm
you
very
what.
impressed with Jim Mora.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job. Coaching
Well, it's
staff.
early.
Well, it is early, and there's going to be a lot of
Very early.
injuries. They already got a major injury.
If
But,
they can win 6 games, they can go to the bowl. Maybe.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe
Right?
bowl
It's a
eligible.
possibility.
The Midas, what was it? The Midas, the Meineke Bowl or something, right? I think
Meineke
they won the
Bowl.
Meineke
The
Bowl.
Motor City Bowl in
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that they won that once already, haven't they?
Yeah, I think they won that one.
Yeah.
If I could-
Yeah, the
they did win.
Meineke Bowl or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 minute, gentlemen. I have nothing else to say, Dad.
Well, Lenny Dawson, I want to talk about him
yes,
a little bit.
absolutely. We got 1 minute, so go
Yeah.
ahead.
He was great. Lenny Dawson, he was with the
Kansas City Chiefs.
AFL,
Yeah. Yeah.
AFL in its infancy,
Yeah.
when it was really a rivalry between Oakland and the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
And also when they broke into the Super Bowl, the merger between the AFC and the NFC. It became the AFL. And
Right, because after the Jets, right?
it was
The
actually
Chiefs
after
won.
Jets.
So there you go.
Yeah.
1969. So
What happened? What happened
1970
was
they won.
The Jets guaranteed. It was weird. The Jets guaranteed a Super Bowl win against
Not
the
the
Colts.
Jets. Not the Jets. Joe Namath.
Guaranteed,
Right.
guaranteed that they beat the Colts, and
Right.
they did. And it was like, I think my dad said it was like a month or two.
All right, listen, we're done. That's it, I guess. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
I remember my dad.
Mike was.